now, WTOE Radio Live, brought to you by throughoureyes.org.
Cheryl Echevarria of Echevarria Travel, your one-on-one travel agent, making your travel dreams come true. Home of the independent traveler. Whether you're sighted, blind, or disabled, whether you use a cane, guide dog, or sighted guide, Echevarria Travel will get you there safely. Come and learn more about traveling independently.
Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go.
Hi, everybody. This is Cheryl Echevarria of Echevarria Travel, and welcome to October 2013. Wow, where is the year going? I just want to say welcome. And remember, this is a live call-in talk show, the Echevarria Travel Show, and I'm Cheryl Echevarria. You might be looking for my co-host, Margo Downey. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here tonight, but she will be back here for the November 4th show, where we'll be honoring our veterans and also talking with the president of the National Association of Guide Dog Users and the president of the National Association of Blind Veterans. Tonight we're going to be talking all about Barbados. My guest tonight is Kerryann Ifill, who is the president of the Barbados Council for Disabilities. And down in Barbados, they have the tourism board is actually called Fabulous Accessible Barbados. And we'll be talking to her hopefully after the 2-minute break because we are having some technical difficulties with her. So hopefully she'll be on the call afterwards. I do want to make a couple of announcements here. As you know, the Echevarria Travel, as well as our 8 other shows that are on every Wednesday night of the month, is run by donations that go to the Northeast chapter of the NFB of New Jersey. And to make a tax-deductible donation to the NFB, you could send a check made out to the Northeast chapter of the NFB of New Jersey, 254 Spruce Street, Bloomfield, New Jersey, 07003, and put in the memo for throughoureyes.org on there or WTOE network. I have an announcement I'd like to make, and unfortunately it's a very sad one, so I do have to read it here. A very important person to the blind organization passed away today. Dr. Abraham Nemeth passed away today. He was, and just looking here, 94 years old, and he was the inventor of Braille, so that not Louis Braille, but he improved Braille so blind people can do math and science and all these computer stuff in code. So the NFB, and I'd like to, tip my hat to the gentleman that created this for us to have math and science for blind people. A lot of people don't know that blind people can do math and science, and we have a lot of great scientists out there. And it really has been improvement for the blind during these last 50 years or so. Like I said, we're going to be talking all about Barbados. So when we come back, and remember, our call-in number is 1-888-572-0141. Please call in and talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. And I'm Cheryl Echevarria of Echevarria Travel. And we'll be right back after this 2-minute break. Stay tuned.
Don't go anywhere. There'll be more show right after these messages.
How would you feel if your children went to school and weren't taught to read? What would the future hold for them? Today, a mere 10% of blind children are taught to read Braille. Literacy is a basic right, and with it, a blind person can become just about anything. With Braille, a blind person can read at the same rate as a sighted person. This opens doors to unlimited potential. Learning to read Braille is the key to success. Without it, a blind child doesn't have a chance. For more information on Braille literacy and blindness, please visit our website at www.nfb.org or contact me, Mark Maurer, President, National Federation of the Blind, 1800 Johnson Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21230, or call us at 410-659-9314. The National Federation of the Blind. We are the voice of the nation's blind.
Hi, I'm Keith Zally, your announcer here at throughoureyes.org. I'd like to ask all our listeners who have not yet registered at Through Our Eyes to consider doing so. Registering helps us ascertain whom our listeners are, where they come from, if they are blind or visually impaired, as well as other important information which helps us guide us in providing programming that will meet our visitors' needs. I urge all our listeners to register today. It's free and only takes a minute to complete the process. Please read our privacy policy so you can be assured that the information you provide stays with us and only us, and you'll never get any unwanted emails.
Imagine climbing the tallest mountain in the world without ever seeing the path in front of you. Imagine winning a television game show without ever seeing television. I'm Mark Maurer, President of the National Federation of the Blind. With the proper training and opportunity, blind people can become just about anything. Visit our website at www.nfb.org or contact the Federation at 410-659-9314.
Come with me, let's go.
And we're back. I just want to say that Kerryann Ifill is on the line, and again, she is in Barbados, and she's the president of the Barbados Council for the Disabled. Kerry, are you there?
I'm here.
Kerry, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, Kerry, thank you for coming on the call tonight. I'm so glad you're finally here. Just
here.
Yes, about 2 years ago, we actually met for a few minutes at the National Federation of the Blind in Dallas through a friend of both of ours. His name is Dr. Scott Rains out in California. He isn't blind. He's actually paraplegic that also works with Kerry a lot down in Barbados and works very hard to make tourism better for everybody. Kerry, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what is the Council for the Disabled in Barbados?
First of all, I want to apologize for the horrible audio. You know, technology, it works until you need it, and then when you need it, it doesn't work properly. So I apologize to all the listeners who are having trouble with me. The Barbados Council for the Disabled has been in existence since 1976, and we're an umbrella body for all organizations working on and for persons with disabilities here in Barbados. We have a variety of interest groups. We work with the blind, the deaf, the sports, Special Olympics, Paralympics, all of those agencies, and we coordinate our own projects. We have a small fleet of buses that we use for transportation. We work really heavily in sexual and reproductive health programs, and we also support our various agencies with their very many activities. So that's a bit about what we do. We have a board of directors. They're elected biennially, and they're elected from among our membership. And our board is made up of 7 persons with disabilities and 4 non-disabled persons.
Now, what is Fully Accessible Barbados? Is that exactly what you were mentioning, or is that a different project altogether?
Fully Accessible Barbados is what we call our flagship program, and it is one of the activities put on by the Barbados Council for the Disabled. Back in around 2005, we felt that tourism is the main foreign exchange earner for our country. And for a small island, we need all, without, with very limited resources, we need all the money we can get. So, but we felt that the tourists with disabilities weren't getting an equal break. So we wanted to start concentrating on making Barbados more accessible. The program didn't take off very much in 2005, and basically it was too wide, it was too far reaching. So back in 2008, we decided to revamp it and target mainly the tourism area. And in this area, what we did was we said, okay, we want to look at your properties, we want to look at your services and see how you benefit persons with disabilities. And you don't have to cater to every disability all at once. If you can make your business accessible to the blind or the deaf or the wheelchair user or the mobility challenge, then you can get a FAB accreditation. So you're accredited under 6 different categories, and we started that review back in 2008. Now that got a lot of support, and we had our first ceremony and presentation. We presented 16 different awards, and we had a cross section of places. We had some restaurants, some hotels, a shopping center, which was highly popular with tourists and Barbadians alike. We also did a few more locally targeted eating places, and we also did, unfortunately, it's closed now, a fun park for person. It was an ocean park, actually.
Right. Actually, as being a travel professional, I'm always reading up about especially the Caribbean, with our different areas in the Caribbean, and I got my certification recently in Barbados, and it's a small island, but when reading the history, the United States has a lot of history with Barbados, going all the way back to George Washington, who actually, one of the other places where we have a joke here in the United States, George Washington slept everywhere, but actually his brother was living down there, and he went down there to help take care of his brother while he was sick in Barbados. And you got a very rich and very historical country there, especially myself.
That's pretty. In fact, the house where George Washington stayed is now a local museum, and that's also one of the fully accessible Barbados properties, because it's not completely accessible because it's an very old house, and so they couldn't make the second level accessible, but they've got accessible bathrooms, and they've made the ground floor as accessible as possible. So that's another one of our properties.
The other place I was reading up about, since I'm Jewish as well, you have the second oldest synagogue in the Western Hemisphere next to Curacao. And it's very interesting history that the Brazilians that were being persecuted, since we all seem to be persecuted since the beginning of time, actually, the Sephardic Jews moved to Barbados and started some of the sugar cane plantations and stuff there. Is that synagogue, first of all, is it still having any services, and is that accessible as well?
Unfortunately, it is not accessible the last time I checked. It's still there, but it's more of a historical site now than an active synagogue, I believe. We don't have a very large Jewish population in Barbados, I'm afraid.
Oh, but it's still nice to know that, because when I was in Bermuda, we learned that they have the oldest Western Hemisphere church that still has services every single week there.
I think they're doing some restoration work on the synagogue, and it's actually the street where it's on is actually called Synagogue Lane, so it's definitely one of our landmarks here.
Right. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The question that I mostly have for tonight is in retrospect to blind people. Now, first question I really have, and some of my audience, especially since we cruise a lot, and the cruises do go to Bridgetown in Barbados. what is the accessibility, and if any accessibility, for bringing service animals to Barbados states?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask that one. Unfortunately, we are a rabies-free territory. So you can't bring animals into Barbados unless they've been quarantined for 6 months.
Wow. Because I know recently Jamaica started allowing service animals into Jamaica, but only via cruise lines. So,
Yeah. Eventually, maybe we will start looking at doing it like that, but it's the local veterinary service. They're very, very, very reluctant. Jamaica has a greater landmass than we do as well. We've only got 166 square miles. So if rabies were to get into Barbados at all, it could decimate the entire population in a flash. So that's what they're very afraid of. Now, service animals, we know they have one of the best health records. And so we're trying to explain to them, well, you can't have a rabies infested animal near somebody who needs a service dog anyway. So, and they've got all the health certificates and everything. But the local veterinarians are not budging on it because if they see it, it's going to create too much havoc for them.
Is it more that you're concerned about, because having service animals, we have to have every year the dog is vaccinated and all that. Is it more concern of the dogs there in Barbados that may not be vaccinated to protect the dogs that are coming in? I mean, I'm sure you're not, I'm not trying to, make you uncomfortable here, but I'm just trying to find out their ideas of that, because service animals have to be vaccinated every year, and I'm just.
All the dogs are vaccinated as well by about 8 weeks old. They're always vaccinated as well, and they get their shots and everything, so they're taken care of. But I guess they're afraid of the infection at all getting into Barbados. The service animals, we are trying to work. In fact, only last year, we did some surveys to see what the reaction to service animals would be in Barbados. And so we're awaiting the results on that and hoping to have that research to lend weight to our arguments. Because it's not just the service animals that have in trouble. There are other animals coming in from outside as well that have difficulties. But we're hoping to get the thin edge of the wedge in and get the service animals in as soon as possible. But it's an uphill fight because there is that. And then the other challenge will be, once you do get them in, actually allowing them into various facilities and so on, because there are all the health codes and health restrictions and so on. So it's not going to be an easy fight.
Understand. Now, going back to the program itself, now, what services do they have there for people that are blind that want to travel to Barbados? What things are in place already that you can maybe shed a light on?
Okay, well, we do have in place, we have the Council for the Disabled, as I said. We have our buses for wheelchair users. So we have transportation, but we're not the only ones that offer that. There are other services offering transportation for persons with disabilities. The local hotels, the airport, actually, Grantley Adams International Airport, that's another one of our fully accessible Barbados properties. So starting from there, they have the lowered countertops and everything so that you feel welcomed and at home at the airport. Then there's the transportation to get from there to your various destinations. The hotels, there are some of them that are accessible and others are daily asking us to recommend and review their properties. There are restaurants that are accessible. The main tourist attraction in Barbados is called Harrison's Cave. It's a mile-long track of underground caves, and it has interesting rock formations and stalactites and stalagmites and a whole host of other things. And that, they have the wheelchair tram so that the wheelchair users can go down. It's described along the way, and they have been known to allow, you're not supposed to touch the fossils and so on, but they do allow some of the blind visitors to touch those as well. Some of the restaurants are starting to get Braille menus in. We have, I think that pretty much covers what we have. But one thing that Barbadians are known for are we have a very accommodating attitude and a very warm personality. So when we have visitors, we do go the extra to help them to feel comfortable. So it doesn't. We're not perfect, but we're getting there.
Now, when let's say if I'm going on a tour of Barbados, are they getting trained how to? And I understand wheelchair accessibility, but uh, a lot of blind people will say there's nothing wrong with my legs or anything like that, which is fine. My concern is with your tour operators. Are they trained in giving very descriptive verbiage when they're taking people that are blind on a tour somewhere to make sure that they're describing it? Not just saying it's blue, but this is shaped like in almost like a square, and it's pointy and it's round, and it's a metal. It feels very you know what I'm saying? Are they learning how to describe things?
They're definitely improving. We're trying to encourage our local visually impaired persons as well to go out and use some of the facilities so that they don't get rusty on the skills that they have. In fact, tomorrow we have sensitivity training for the members of the tourism sector, tourism practitioners. So you have like frontline staff, tour operators, and all of those. We're doing sensitivity training over the next 2 days. And those are some of the things that we're going to cover. So we do it every year, and each year we're getting more and more persons to train in the way that they need to accommodate various types of disabilities, because we're also working on getting things more ASL for the sign language and stuff like that as well.
Cool. A couple of questions I got in reference to the program itself. Are you working with other islands in the Caribbean? I mean, is this going to be expanding to include other areas of tourism in the Caribbean, maybe bring in people in government from the United States or from Jamaica or other areas to come in and maybe learn from each other, have like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like some kind of convention or some meeting of the minds to come together and speak on these topics?
Actually, we made a presentation. There is a tourism, the Caribbean Tourism Organization, and they have a program every year, and we have made presentations there on more than one occasion. And just last week actually, we have been approved to sit on the Caribbean national standards, so that we would be looking for the tourism side of things, making standards across the Caribbean for tourists with disabilities. So we shared our model with Antigua and Trinidad, and slowly we're hoping that it's creeping across the Caribbean as people realize how important it is.
Correct. Lenny, how much time do you have? Okay. Just double checking on our time. Well, now, when I'd like to talk a little more, especially about Barbados. I've learned that you've been in existence since about the 1600s and been independent since that time, correct?
No, we've been independent since 1966, but we were a British colony from 1627 until now.
Wonderful. And you're in the House of Commons with British monarchy?
We have a British head. Well, no, let me get this straight. We have a head of state, which is the Governor General, but the Queen is the titular head of state of Barbados, as she is in most of the other Commonwealth countries. So we do have a Governor General. We have our Houses of Parliament, and we're based on the Westminster system, which is the British system of politics. And what else do we do? So that is how we're run. But we became independent since 1966. So we're not governed, we're internally governed now.
I got you. I had a reverse. Okay. Now, like I said, doing my homework on Barbados, since my husband and I would really love to go there. We've been to some other Caribbean islands, and we hope to get down to Barbados soon. Now, I mean, you guys are small, but you're packed with so much things to do. Like you have, people always come to me and they always want to go to an all-inclusive resort, and I'm like, well, those are mostly countries where you really don't want to leave the resorts. You don't want to get out and expand for either governmental issues or military rule or something like that. But Barbados is one of the safest countries in the Caribbean, one of the most friendliest countries in the Caribbean. And I mean, over the last 20 years, a lot of the U.S. tourism has been heading to Barbados, and they're starting to come back again. So,
because Barbadians are, I mean, I'm proud of my country. And one of the things I'm proud about is that it's not, when you go into an all-inclusive, you can miss so much about us. Because just going out and mixing with people and being among what is regular Barbadian life, there are things that you cannot experience when you stay in a hotel. I mean, I've stayed at all-inclusive hotels in other places, and I really don't see what the big attraction is, because you don't get to know what the culture of the place is. But when you go out, you get to see how people live, you get to talk, you get to experience Barbadian food, which is delish. I am biased, but it is wonderful. It's just a beautiful thing to do. And there's, like I said, there's the Harrison's Cave, there's aerial trek, there are loads of other things that we can do here, and it's very exciting and interesting.
Well, we're coming to the end of the half hour. When we come back, we'll be discussing more of Barbados, more of the beautiful island where Kerry is from, and hopefully we'll encourage you to call in or even take a trip there. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in 4 minutes.
Hi, I'm Keith Zally, your announcer here at WTOE Radio Network. We're going to take a little bit long with this break to save our files for podcasts. So don't go anywhere, because there'll be more of the Echevarria Travel Show in just a bit.
Come with me, let's go.
'None inspires imagination like reading. And it's never too early to start reading to your children. When you open a book, you can explore new worlds like the ones in the Chronicles of Narnia.
Everything you see is Narnia.
Impossible.
You can make new friends, discover amazing adventures, and most of all, have fun.
Are you prepared for what awaits you?
To find out more about the wonders of reading, you can visit the Library of Congress website at www.loc.gov. There, you can learn more about books, play fun games, discover cool facts, and so much more. You can log on to www.loc.gov and let your journey begin. This message has been brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Thank you, and we're back. You know, when it comes to fighting crime, he's never going to roll over. He's McGruff the crime dog.
Roll over. You're okay, Joy.
Thanks.
And I got 2 words to make your neighborhood safer.
Uh-huh.
Coffee cake.
Ah, the old poison coffee cake trick. The crook takes a bite, falls down to the ground.
No, it's for your neighbors.
You want to poison your neighbors?
No, never.
Oh, thank goodness.
No, for 25 years, I've been giving tips about preventing crime. One of them is to invite people over for a cup of coffee and share the problems you see on your street and what to do about them.
That's great.
You can invite your local police officer to help, too.
You know, I hear they're very fond of donuts.
Oh, that's just a myth.
Oh, well, I'd come to your doghouse for coffee cake in a safer neighborhood.
Now you're talking. You can cut down on crime by not just locking your door, but opening up to your neighbors.
Still, a 10-pound bundt cake dropped on a bad guy's foot could help.
It couldn't hurt. And going to weprevent.org for other tips could help, too.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, Crime Prevention Coalition of America, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Have you ever lost a cat? And have you ever wanted to get your cat back after you lost it? Hi there, I'm Andrew Hoffman. I went on this website called inventnow.org. Then I decided to make an invention of my own. It's called the Lost Cat Magnet Invention. So you can get your cat back after you lost it. Just turn it on, and lost cats stick to it. That's a good cat. If your cat was hiding up in a tree, it won't be up a tree anymore. It will be stuck to the lost cat magnet. And sometimes they fly toward you in the air. Just listen to one satisfied cat. See, that's proof. You should go to the inventnow.org website too. But just remember one thing. Don't do a lost cat magnet.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the National Inventors Hall of Fame Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Judy. And my name is Johnny. We're 10 years old and we're blind. Our dreams are to become scientists.
My name is Catherine. I'm 24 years old and I'm blind. I'm currently in law school, and one day I dream of becoming an attorney.
My name is Bill. I'm 74 years old and I've just become blind. My dream is to remain independent in my own home and not have to go to a nursing home just because I'm blind.
The National Federation of the Blind of New York has been helping blind people achieve their dreams since 1956. Help keep their dream machine running and visit blindnewyorkers.org to make a donation. You can also call them at 718-567-7821. Blind people are your neighbors and colleagues, so learn more about blindness and make your contribution today. Go to blindnewyorkers.org or call 718-567-7821. The National Federation of the Blind of New York. Today's dreams can become tomorrow's realities.
Come with me, let's go.
And we're back. Welcome again. We're back from our 4-minute break, and we're talking tonight to Kerryann Ifill from the Barbados Council of Disabilities, and she's the current president of that organization. Kerry, wait a minute. Before I even start, please remember we are a live call-in talk show, so if you're out there listening, pick up the phone and give us a call. And our phone number is 1-888-572-0141. We would love to hear from you tonight. And you can ask both of us about Barbados or any other travel-related question you have. So I hope you take advantage of it. Kerry, what I normally do, which I didn't do tonight, is I always like to find out about our guests. Can you tell us a little about yourself and how you got involved with the organization that you're with now?
Well, I am, a little bit about me, let's see. Well, I used to work at the Barbados Council for the Disabled from 2002, and I worked as the research project officer. And that meant that I had to deal with all of the incoming research about our various projects and programs, and I used to try to put everything together, and I dealt with a lot of communications and so on. I left that agency, and I started to work with the National Disabilities Unit, and I teach computers to other blind and visually impaired persons and do Braille transcribing and so on. And a couple of years ago, the elections for the board of directors came up, and I ran for president, and I won the post, and that's how I got involved with the Barbados Council for the Disabled. I'm also public relations officer of the National United Society of the Blind, and I am also the newly elected president of the Caribbean Council for the Blind. So I've got quite a few activities going on out there in blindness and visual impairment and other aspects of disability. And in my other incarnation, I also serve as a senator, and I'm currently the president of the Senate of Barbados.
Wow, a lot of hats you wear, and I thought I wore a lot of hats with the NFB. Now, being blind yourself, first, and this is just me. I am partially blind. I hear you, Joyce. So, are you totally blind, or you have some sight, or no?
I tell people I'm blind as a bat because I try to say to others, I have no light perception. I'm not visually impaired. I am a total. There's nothing going on here. All lights out.
Well, here, as you know, with the NFB, whether you have a little sight, a lot of sight, or nothing at all, we're all blind. And I take it that the council down there is similar to the NFB here in the United States. Are you also part of the World Blind Union there?
The Caribbean Council for the Blind is part of the World Blind Union. And in fact, I'll be in Baltimore shortly at NFB headquarters, attending WB training for the Convention of Rights of Persons with Disabilities. And I'll then be going on to Louisville for the WBU officers meeting. So yes, we're definitely a part of WBU.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this weekend in Albany, we're having our state convention of the NFB in New York, and Mark Riccobono from the Jernigan Institute is actually going to be our national rep. So, I'm glad you'll be going to our headquarters and seeing Dr. Maurer and all the other our other family, because the NFB is family in national. I want to get to more Barbados. It's so fascinating to me. My husband's from Puerto Rico, and it's a big island, and it's you have a lot of things going on. But first of all, Barbadians, and I'm hoping I'm saying it all right, is also known as Bajans. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
No. You say Bajans.
Bajans.
Okay.
Bajans. Okay, and it's from West Africa and the UK. So it's and now, and I also found out the accent from people that live up in Charleston actually get it from Barbados, because there's so many different cultures there that when they were working during the time of course, slavery and the plantations and everything, and moving up to the Charleston area, a lot of people came from Barbados, which I thought was very, very interesting. And
we have a very big affiliation going on with Charleston even till today. A lot of our hotel workers are trained there. A lot of our people are trained in Charleston, and a lot of roots are traced back there. So yeah, it's definitely a big thing for us.
Cool. And from the 70 miles of beach there, which I love the beach. It's very calm waters there. That they're saying that the currents are so calm that people can let their kids run out in the water and not even worry so much about it, because there's not heavy undertow, and it just seems like perfect, because you always dream of seeing the commercials on TV and of the the blue ocean, and it's just so calm that I'm just getting this picture in my head. Is it as I'm thinking? I mean, is it that calm, the waters there and all that?
It's even more beautiful than that, but I'm biased.
Exactly. Now, it's also Barbados is also the. Now, let me just see here. Has the most international foods, because you have everything there from Chinese to Italian. I mean, there's so much. It's like a culinary person's dream to go to Barbados, because you have everything there, and you have top-notch restaurants. I mean, you can enjoy. There's a budget for everybody there to go, whether you're, on a shoestring budget or you want the ultimate luxury hotels. It's welcoming to any lifestyle there. So
it's something for everyone. We've got a Japanese Thai restaurant. Then we've got. To come to Barbados is definitely a culinary delight. You can get a bit of Trinidadian food, a bit of Amerindian. You can get traditional Barbadian. We are the sweet lovers of the Caribbean, so we have a lot of sweet foods and a lot of sweet things. We make breadfruit is a very popular dish here. Breadfruit was one of the things that they found lots of when they came to Barbados, was lots of these trees with this large fruit on it. And so they called it the breadfruit, because you can do everything with it. You can make the flesh into flour. You can fry it up, make chips out of it, French fries as you call them. We can make, there's so many different things you can do with it. People even make drinks out of it. People have made lasagna with it. It is just very versatile, very wonderful. It's definitely a great dish. So yeah, coming to Barbados Barbados. The beaches are perfect. Everything is lovely. On the south coast of the island, the beaches are better for the kids to run around in. On the north and east coast of the island, they're a lot choppier because that's where it meets the Atlantic Ocean. But that's where the surfers get all their happiness going on. So there's a bit for everybody.
Now, for somebody that may have limited time to go to Barbados, let's say they're going to be there for one day on a cruise. What is the thing or a couple of things that they should not miss while they're in Barbados?
You definitely should not miss Harrison's Cave. That is a wonderful tour. Scott Rains will tell you he took it. You should not miss a visit to Pelican Village where you get to see all the arts and crafts, the local stuff. If you are, if it's a day when there's horse racing on, that's definitely another visit to pay because our historic garrison is wonderful. If you happen to be the kind of person that enjoys cricket, Kensington Oval is called the Mecca of Caribbean cricket. There's the beach. If you've got time, definitely going to the beach. The nightlife is something not to be missed. And recently we passed a law so that the ships stay in port a little longer, so you don't have to leave Barbados as early as you used to, so you can get a sample of that. And just drive around the east coast and the west coast and see the fauna and flora of Barbados. If you have the time, you can go for a horseback trail ride. And those two I've done them, and they are accessible to blind and visually impaired and other persons as well. They're wonderful. And if you enjoy that kind of thing, you get trail rides up in the countries where you get to interact more one-on-one with nature. So there are loads to do it. You can do the submarine, go underwater. You can, there's quite a bit.
And for those that are listening that want to go to Barbados, a number of the airlines, your international airlines, a lot of them are starting now to go nonstop. A lot of them you have one stop in Miami. But nowadays, when you're traveling, you usually got one stop anyway. A lot of airlines do not go nonstop to any place anymore. I'm going to Las Vegas next week, and you can't go nonstop to Vegas anymore. So, but if traveling nowadays, your biggest expense is always going to be your airlines. But once you're there, you're really going to have a nice time. And almost all the cruise lines go to Barbados. So if you have a chance, pick, a Caribbean cruise that includes Bridgetown, Barbados, and that's how it's on your itinerary. And give me a call and we'll set it up for you. Kerry, I want to thank you so much for being on tonight. And please keep in touch with me. Hopefully, give me a call when you get back from Louisville, because you're going to NFB in Baltimore first, and then you're going to Louisville, Kentucky. And I just want to pick your brain more about Fabulous Accessible Barbados and maybe Echevarria Travel, or since I'm president of the travel and tourism of the NFB, maybe, we could put our heads together and help out any way we can with getting more accessibility out there.
No problem at all. In fact, I'll be in your neck of the woods next week. I'll be in New York for a couple of days, actually. Unfortunately, be off.
When are you going to be in New York?
Tuesday to Friday.
I'm leaving Wednesday, so too bad you won't be in New York longer. But hopefully, maybe you and I and Scott Rains, and I hope you're listening, Scott, maybe we could get together one day and just go out to dinner or something like that. And again, thank you for being on the show, and we'll have you back soon. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Now, I just want to give people some heads up of what's going on with the NFB Travel and Tourism and also the National Federation of the Blind. As you know, we're leaving next week to go to Las Vegas, and we were going to the national park, so I'm hoping that by the time we get out there that the national parks will be opened. If not, we are still going. everybody's still excited. Our tour operator, Scenic Tours, out in Utah, has many side trips for us to see and do some state parks. We may be even going 4x4ing over some sand dunes. So we're still going to the Perry Hotel. We're very excited about that, and doing the the role play video of how the West was lost. Now, this past Monday, the division has started their plans for our 2014 trip. Hold on to your seat, people. We're doing Country Music USA next year. So if you love country music, you love Nashville, guess what? We're going to Nashville, Tennessee next October. We're going to have all the information posted out there on the nfbtravel.org website, or if you get your Braille monitor, or even if you're not blind and you're listening to our show. This is our fundraiser that we do every year. And a fundraiser is, we're raising money for our division. So, plus we want to educate you, that people that are not blind, that we're very independent, like you listened to Carrie before. I mean, blind people can do so much, and we're in government, we're housewives, we're mothers, we're in government. We do so many things that we want to educate everybody else out there. And the way we do it is by traveling across the country and learning different things and enjoying places to go and things to do, because some people still call me and say, well, I'm blind, what can I do? I can't see anything. And I try to invoke on people that, look, when we were kids in school, we went through all these fun things. Oh, you need to taste this, and you need to hear this, and you laugh, and you cry, and you smell different things. That's what we have to try to put into our lives. Even people that are sighted don't appreciate things around them. They don't listen to the birds. They don't smell the food. They don't taste different things out there. My husband tells me I'm weird when I try new foods and stuff. Oh my God, you're trying that? I'm like, life is a bowl of cherries, and you really got to try things and enjoy life. And everything, unfortunately, is visual. So we got to try to do different things to enjoy ourselves. And, it's scary at first, and I'm always going to preach this. I mean, I wasn't always blind. It's scary, but, with people around you, or even traveling independently, it can be fun. So stay tuned for that. I'll be talking about that over the next couple of months. Some interesting things that have been going on that we have been talking about. As you know, Margo and I have been talking about issues that happened at the National Convention with Southwest Airlines, and also some people with Canes with United. We're trying to work with all divisions to come together and maybe have some kind of leadership seminar going on in a couple of months. I'll be speaking with some people down in National this weekend about it. And next month, as I said, I'm going to have Mary Guizdala on. He's the president of the National Association of Guide Dog Users, and he'll be on half the show, and the other half we'll be talking to Dwight Sayer, who's the president of the National Association of Blind Veterans, about traveling as well. We're fighting in Congress to make sure our veterans have, and I'll have to go more into the bill that we're talking about, but I believe it's the Freedom Act, where veterans get a free space on airlifts to different places around the world, especially for medical. So I maybe get my hand slapped on this one, but we'll have Dwight here talking about that and recognizing our veterans, because in November it is, Veterans Day. October is Meet the Blind Month, so there's a lot of things going on, a lot of walks going on. When I get back from Vegas, I'll be doing a fundraiser walk with my Guide Dog School, which is the Guide Dog Foundation for the blind in Smithtown. They're having their wagon walk. That's wag as in dog wagging their tails and walking. And it's a fundraiser for our school. If you're interested in donating to that, you could reach me at reservations@echevarriatravel.com. You could also join the walk with me. And that's going to be on October 27th at the Rinks in Smithtown, Long Island in Hauppauge. So either you can donate or you can walk along with us to show support, as well as its other organizations out there. I'm diabetic. It's, Diabetic Awareness Month. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. October is Awareness Month. So if thank God you don't have any illnesses, blindness is not an illness. Blindness is a characteristic. And if you have something out there and you have to thank God every day that we're well, donate to an organization that could use it or participate in it. I'm getting off the travel topic here. I'm sorry, people. But some things that are coming up, as I said, that we're heading out to Vegas and hopefully the Grand Canyon. And I'm going to Albany. And coming up, we have a number of cruises going on, especially during spring break. So if you're looking for a spring break cruise, I got all of them. Come call me from either New York, Baltimore, Galveston, Texas, or out of Florida. Remember, one of your stops can be Barbados. So give me a call on that. What else we have going on? I guess nobody's wants to call me tonight. That's fine. You could always call me anytime and listen to Echevarria Travel. We're also have the podcast on the Echevarria Travel website. I usually have more to talk about. Oh, goodness. So, thank you, Lenny. I'll be speaking at the NFB of New York convention up in Albany. I have a table up there, so if you're part of New York, come by the table. I'll also be speaking on Sunday about the Travel and Tourism Division. And, oh, goodness. Oh, that's true. Thank you, Lenny. Please remember that Silly Me is a host of Echevarria Travel, and we need funds to keep our radio station going. So please remember to donate a tax-deductible money to the Northeast chapter of the NFB of New Jersey, and send your check to 254 Spruce Street, Bloomfield, New Jersey, 07003. And while I'm on the subject, and we have some time here, please remember all our other shows. Following me is J.D. Degenshire and Jerry Marino, who have on the bright side, and they discuss all positive things from poetry. They bring on authors. So especially Jerry and Janie's hysterical laugh. You won't stop laughing the whole hour. And then, of course, we have the original Joe Ruffalo on Through Our Eyes with Joe Ruffalo, who's the third Wednesday of the month. And he talks all issues going on with the NFB. And then our very last show of the month is Looking Good Without Looking. And a number of times, I got a couple of favorites out there, and I can't be biased or anything like that because we're all a family here on the WTOE network. But Linda Thomas and Janie Bacon have Looking Good Without Looking. And whether you're sighted or not, whether you're a man, woman, teenager, they go into all fashion, all cosmetics, the best that money, whatever you can do to improve yourself. Remember, us blind people always want to look our best. We don't want to go out there and, we're trying to represent a whole community out there. So we always want to look our best, feel our best. And remember, traveling is my passion. I mean, you got to go, even if it's just on a local bus trip, whether I go out every day and I go take the bus and I go to the mall, or you take the train somewhere, or you're just walking somewhere, you're traveling. And that's very important that you get out and explore your world. Max and I go out sometimes and, we just feel what's around us. And, we listen, and sometimes I hear different birds singing, and we smell the different foods from the different Spanish restaurants around us. And, we feel the grass, and, there's just so many things out there that God has put on this earth for us, whether we're blind or sighted or in a wheelchair or not. We have to enjoy what's out there. No, I don't. But Lenny, do you want to? Okay, but the NFB of New Jersey is also coming up. I believe it's the first weekend of November, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure Joe will mention it on Wednesday night, or even Janie as well. They'll mention the state convention. Joe Ruffalo, since he's the president of New Jersey, will highlight the whole convention that's coming up. So please make, especially in New York, we're going to be streaming live. So if you have a chance, go to nfbny.org and learn all about what the NFB is. If you're listening to me tonight, and I'm usually much better than this, and you can listen all about what the NFB does. I mean, we are an organization that advocates for the blind in education, in independence, in the work environment, in government, to make sure that we're all treated as equals and not treated as somebody with a handicap. It's a characteristic. It's not, just because we're blind doesn't mean we can't feel or anything like that. We're people, we just can't see. And it's important to know that, like I said, you can travel anywhere and be respected for doing it. Anyway, I'm going to say goodnight. Remember, next month, before Veterans Day and Guide Dog Day. So take care and have a good night. Good night, Lenny. Good night, Lori. Thank you for taking care of our show every month, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
The Echevarria Travel Show is brought to you by Echevarria Travel, home of the independent traveler since 2009, specializing in worldwide destinations for the blind community. For more information on Echevarria Travel, call Cheryl at 631-456-5394 or email her at reservations@echevarriatravel.com. All words, ideas, and contents expressed on this show are those of Cheryl Echevarria and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the Northeast New Jersey chapter, or the WTOE Internet Radio Network. Until next time, I'm Keith Zally.
Let's go. Cruise like a Norwegian.
Hi, this is Joe Ruffalo of WTOE Radio. If you are a resident in New Jersey and would like to join one of our chapters or have some more information about our chapters, please contact me at 973-743-0075 or email me at nfbnj@yahoo.com.
Advertise your events on internet radio and podcasts free. Need to advertise your club or organization's next event? Whether it's one announcement or different ones weekly or monthly, now you can. ThroughOurEyes.org, using our WTOE radio live broadcast and our podcasts, give you the ears of the world. You can take advantage of our free offer in one of two ways: recording your announcement on your computer or calling our toll-free telephone number. Visit our website to learn more. Are you stuck in front of your computer listening to our shows? Well, you may be happy to know that you don't have to be anymore. Hi, this is Keith Zalley, your announcer here at WTOE Radio. Of course, you know we broadcast live on throughouroureyes.org, but did you know we simulcast on Facebook, Ustream.tv, as well as all of our show's host websites? And now you don't have to be stuck trying to catch your favorite show on your computer. You can listen or even watch our shows live right on your smartphone or iPad. During broadcast nights, just point your phone or iPad browser to our mobile site, m.throughouroureyes.org, and click on the Listen or Watch Live link. WTOE also offers many smart apps for your iPhone, BlackBerry, Android, Windows Mobile, or Nokia phones, iPads too, all for free. Visit our main site, www.throughouroureyes.org/appstores.html, and download your free app today. Hi, I'm Keith Zalley, your announcer here at throughouroureyes.org. Thanks for tuning in to WTOE Radio's live broadcast. Our recording session will start shortly. While you are waiting, I'd like to ask all our listeners who have not yet registered at Through Our Eyes to consider doing so. Registering helps us ascertain whom our listeners are, where they come from, if they are blind or visually impaired, as well as other important information which helps us guide us in providing programming that will meet our visitors' needs. I urge all our listeners to register today. It's free and only takes a minute to complete the process. Please read our privacy policy so you can be assured that the information you provide stays with us and only us, and you'll never get any unwanted emails. Well, we're almost ready to begin. Since what you are about to listen to is live, after each recording of the show, you'll hear approximately 15 minutes of music. This is the time we are contacting our next guest for the next show. When the show starts, you'll hear it in its entirety. Our recording sessions usually comprise 3 separate shows, each about 15 to 20 minutes in length, with approximately 15 minutes between each session. So once again, thanks for listening to WTOE Radio Live. Our recording session will start momentarily. I'm Keith Zalley.
Welcome to Stepping Forward, an engaging, no-nonsense approach to life's problems with your host, licensed clinical psychologist, Tamara White. Let Tamara's keen wit and straightforward delivery help make sense out of life's complex issues such as child rearing, sex education in adulthood, dealing with the elderly, and so much more. Tamara will inspire, motivate, and amuse you while dealing with real-world scenarios. And now, here's Tamara.
I'm super excited to see you. I missed you last month. I had family issue that happened with sweet little Emma Grace that I think I've talked to you guys about before, who at 1 month gave us all the education that we ever needed. And her name is Emma Grace. And yet she does not live up to the Grace name. So she broke her arm because she was just playing on the playground and she just fell. I mean, I wish I could tell you something amazing like, oh my God, this girl saved another kid from a bus and blah, blah, blah. But no, yeah, she just fell. So that was kind of a last minute thing for us last month. And single parenthood is what it is. And I had to address that. So a sweet little Emma Grace has a pink cast that I have signed, and the rest of the land has signed. So here's what I want to do. So here was my plan for last month, sorry. So last month I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to collect all of these stories because I have encouraged you all to email me. I have encouraged you all to call me. I had my sweet little compadre here, Diane, who is on the medical side of it. And I said, what do you want to know from her too? Which I did ask her a few things. So I have a handful of things to ask her because she couldn't be here tonight. And so tonight, all you're going to get is my ugly mug all night long. And so here's the deal. Here's where I want to go. This is like Dear Abby Land verbally, because I feel like if I have to deal with this on a day-to-day basis, then perhaps this is pretty normal. I mean, I have it myself. So then maybe we all should work on it together and talk about some things. And I am going to bring in as much medication kind of scenarios that I can that Diane would approve of. But this is my show. And so I'm going to talk about, the questions I get. Here's what my life looks like on a daily basis. This is a psychology show. You could Google it, you could look it up, you could do anything you want to do. And if you have these freaking questions, then this is the opportunity for us to talk about it. You don't even have to watch me because you're going to see my ugly mug all day long. And I am wearing a Chicago Bear jersey. If you could see this, I am in Dallas. I'm not a big Dallas fan. I feel like Dallas Cowboys like themselves enough so that I don't need to. Chicago needs a few people to like themselves. So here's where we're going to go with this. We are going to take a super, super, super quick break. I have a bajillion questions that we're going to go over. I'm going to give you my perspective on it. I have a feeling that some of these are going to touch you. These are not made up questions. These are things that I get in my practice every day. And some of you have been super sweet to send me emails, and I appreciate that, and I love that so much. So I'm going to answer those. And if by chance you hear your question and you want to reach out, then Len is going to put the number on the screen, and it is super fun to talk live. But if you don't want to, that's cool too. But I am going to give you some questions. We are going to talk about some of the residual answers, and this is going to be so much fun. I wanted to do this last month before craziness happens, and I'm also glad to be able to share with you real life happens. I'm real life. I'm a single parent. I have a little girl, Emma, who taught us about everything in life. Can't apparently walk straight without falling over a stick. These things happen. So let's have fun. I am so excited tonight. I couldn't even wait for tonight. We're going to have so much fun. So you guys, if you choose, reach out to me. Lynn's going to put the number on the screen. That would be so much fun. If not, then I'm just going to give you a bajillion questions that I have received all week long. And Chicago Bears, right? But I live in Dallas. Do you see how diverse I am? So, okay, let's take a quick break. Let's come back. I'm going to get my questions up. Let's start this thing, okay?
Stay right where you are. Tamara will be right back.
What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within.
Statistics say that 4 out of 10 high school students will drop out of high school. But sometimes the difference between dropping out and finishing is a boost.
I just try to motivate my friends as much as I can. Just get done with that credit. Just get that thing.
If you don't have anybody while you're in school, then there's not really a way to get through it.
I had a very good friend who was thinking about dropping out completely. And I just talked to him about it, told him that it was a stupid idea for him to do that. You know, he's gone so far and he's only got a year left.
There's one girl named Maria. She just told me to get my things straight. She told me if I ever needed anything that she'll be right there. Even my friends that have dropped out tell me, oh, stay in school. It's not easy to leave it. You think it's the best thing, but then when you've done it, you realize that it wasn't.
10 real-life at-risk students are filming their year, so you can see what it's really like trying to get through high school. Go to boostup.org to see their stories and give someone you know a boost so they can finish. High school is hard. Graduating is harder. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Remember the time you almost volunteered to work in a soup kitchen? Or when you almost visited the Veterans Hospital? Or when you almost brought dinner to your neighbor with AIDS? Remember all the times you almost helped, almost gave? Well, it's only human, this almost giving. But the truth is, it's the same as not giving at all. Don't almost give, give. Visit our website at don'talmostgive.org. A message from the Ad Council.
And now, back to stepping forward. Here's Tamara.
Okay, hey everyone. So here's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to look for some of the messages that have been texted to me, who have been emailed to me, because here's how I want to spend our night. Sorry. So I told you, I'm a psychologist. This is my job. I have a private practice. I've been in private practice for 17 years. And when I come to present with you all, I just wanted to be like, hey, I have a great topic to let's talk about. And then it's kind of occurred to me that I have a bajillion topics that people want to talk about, and I need to not focus on just one. And sometimes I have a guest, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have pictures, and sometimes I don't. So, you know what? If you just want to listen to me because I'm going to be loud enough, I assure you. So you don't need to look at my ugly mug all night long. So let's start. So I try to kind of categorize things, and these are not just random things that have come to me. These are either very common questions. These are emails that I think have prevalence, or some of them are from you, which I appreciate super much. So please don't get me wrong. Okay. So let's start with kids. I'm going to start with a kid one. All right. So I get an email or I get a patient, and one of the big things, and this happens a lot, they say, my kid hates me. My kid hates me. Okay, next. Kids, all of your kids hate you. Of course they hate you. They hate me. They hate everybody. Let's not do this whole nonsense about kids hate you. Yes, they hate you. I'm so sorry, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but they hate you. It depends on the age. I mean, I have 7, 17, and 20, and I think at this point in time, they all have hated me at some point in time. 7-year-old loves me. What's not to love? 17 and 20-year-old hates me. Here's the deal. We take this so stinking personal. We're like, oh my God, she said she hates me and she wants to be with blah, 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 blah. It means nothing. So depending on a certain age, until you get to like 11 or 12, they have no abstract thought. So what's going on right now is they say the worst thing that they can say to hurt you at that moment in time to get what they want. So here's what happens. Can I have this? No. I hate you. Okay. Yes, you do. I hate you back, but you don't really say that. Okay. So that's what it looks like until they're like 12, 13, 14. And then they say, I hate you. Can I go out tonight? And they say, no, that's not safe. You're not going to a party that's not safe. Are the parents there? Until I talk to the parents, blah, blah, blah. And then they say, I hate you. Okay, well, that's fine too. They need to hate you. And then when they're 17, 18, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm a senior in high school. I can do anything I want to. And I say, yeah, you can't. Okay, I hate you. Then you say, oh, I love you, but we'll talk again next year. And then once we get through this, then life is better. But here's the answer to all of that to answer the question. As you say, I understand, but I love you. Disengage. Everybody hates to be disengaged. Have you ever tried to fight with someone and you want to like go to them and argue with them and you say, blah, 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 and then they come at you and blah, blah. But if they come at you with something and then you say, yeah, you made a really good point. That's a really good point. Then no one knows what to say. I say this to my kids all the time. My 17-year-old who says, oh my God, Mom, you don't understand anything. Then I say, yeah, that's a really good point. I'm going to have to try to figure out some stuff so I can understand you better. He has nothing to say. The 20-year-old who is off at college and she's like, oh my gosh, Mom, you don't understand how hard college is. And I say, I know, that's a really good point. I want to talk to some friends who have college kids and then maybe I can understand. All right. That's one of our lessons. All right. The next one says, I hate my kid. Now listen, in a week's time, I get about, and I am not kidding you, I get about 118 emails of questions because some of them are from patients that I already see. Some of them are from you all, which I love. Some of them are from people who see me on websites or whatever the case may be. So I'm trying to give you all tonight the ones that I get the most. All right. So my kid hates me. That one tops my list of most common. All right. Here's the second one. I hate my kid. Yep. I hate my kid. And what this really means is I don't know what the hell, F, whatever, to do with this kid at this time in my life. He is driving me, she is driving me insane. I do not like who this person is. I do not like what they've become. I do not like what they stand for, and so on. And again, it kind of goes back to the same thing that you say. Well, but I love you. All right. So I know you're making some really poor choices right now. Or what do you think about that? No, my choices are good. You're the one that's off the rocker. And then you say, okay. So here's some stipulations that I have right now. But eventually, if you want to talk to me, I'll be here. And I swear to God, eventually they'll want to talk to you. But it's going to take some time. Don't look at this one as being like a quick, ready fix. All right. I hope we're on some kind of a network that I can say ugly words because these are all coming to me. My daughter's boyfriend is a douchebag. Can I tell her? Oh, sweet girl. Not only do you tell her, but you're like, are you out of your damn mind? Yes, we tell her. No, this is unacceptable. No, this is not okay. And please, at this point, have a conversation with your daughter that says, well, okay, before we go there, why don't you tell me what is important in your relationship with your daughter, with my daughter? Please tell me what is important with your relationship with this boy and what you want from a boy. And then let's have a conversation. Let's take the name out of it. Been there, done that. That could be a whole other segment. Been there, done that. It sucks. All right. Another one. My son's girlfriend is cheating on him. He's only 17 years old, but they have homecoming coming up. But I happen to know that another boy has asked her, what should I do about this? Should I pretend I don't know, or should I bring it up? This sucks. Sex. Trust your gut. Trust your gut on this. Sometimes you just might want to say, hey, so what's the deal with homecoming? Have you heard anything about Amber or whatever her name is? I mean, what's going on with that? And then generally they'll say, no, I haven't asked her yet. And then you might go, well, you might want to ask her because what if someone else already asked her? And then it kind of comes from that. And it really sucks because this is a very local thing that's come up to me. But I've heard about it and it's happened and it stinks. Much. All right. Okay. So my daughter started dating the same boy when she was 15 years old, and now she is 22. She is in college. He is in college. He's not going anywhere with his life. She has this awesome plan to be a nurse and all of this education. And he's like, well, maybe, I'll just hang out. So do I tell her that she has to lose her ass? Well, again, it's a parental thing. If it were me, yes, I would totally say that. Now, would that cause more problems? Absolutely, that would cause more problems. So then we're going to have a different question, and maybe that's number 22. I don't know. We'll get there eventually, because obviously parents are not going to approve of who their children are dating, but it is super awesome for you to appreciate and look forward to who your daughter is dating and all this good stuff, and at the same time want to be hesitant to protect her or him. No problem there. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, so I have a little cat, and she cries every time she has to go visit her dad on the weekends. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? So that one's a little personal. I mean, it's a little personal. I hate that. I did kind of the same thing. So what I think psychologically, what I could tell you to do is, what you do is you try to, like, okay, it's Friday, or every other Friday, or whatever the case may be. And then you're like, okay, so it's every other Friday. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make cupcakes. We're going to have such a good time. And when your dad gets here, you're going to get to take it with them. And it's amazing. And in theory, that looks perfectly and it sounds perfectly and all this good stuff. And leave it to my little broken arm teaching us lessons. I'm a Grace that I did this all the time. And then by the third time I said, let's make cupcakes. She said, I don't want to go to Dad's. So, I don't know. Let's try it. Try it though. Try to look forward to something that is going to go in a good direction and have fun with it. And there's so many parents out there right now that have to share custody. And I know there's so many that kids don't want to be there. And I am just encouraging you to try to find something to look forward to while they're there. And when they come back, but when you come back, how much fun are we going to have? Oh my God, we're going to read the most amazing book. Or when they go there, you'll be like, oh my goodness, go pick out your favorite outfit. I want you to wear the most fun thing ever, and on and on. And you got to do what you got to do, right? All right. Gotta do what you gotta do. All right. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Do I have time for this one? I'm thinking I'm about to go to a commercial. I have kind of a tough one here. Do I have time for this one?
You got 4 minutes.
All right, let's talk about this, and we may not come back to this. All right, so this is one of the most common ones, and it says, my son or daughter is gay. Please fix them. Please fix them. Yeah, it's not going to happen, right? So I want to tell you, and I want to come back after commercial, but because I only have a couple of minutes, so I want to give you a really quick story. This is kind of funny. So I've been in private practice, I think I told you guys, for 17 years. And I teach at a college, and I have other things that I deal with. But I had this guy come to see me, and his son was about 4 or 5 years old, right? And so he's like, I said, hey, what can I help you with? And he said, I want to talk to you because I think my son is gay. And I said, how old is he? And he said, like 4 or 5. I said, all right. And I said, well, what do you want me to do with that? And he said, well, I just don't like it, and I don't want him to be gay. And I said, well, why do you think he's gay? And he said, because all he wanted for Christmas is an easy bake oven. It's the only thing he wanted for Christmas, easy bake oven. And I'm like, I am not going to have a gay kid and blah, 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 blah. And so he and I visited for a while I was like, okay, well, he's really young. I don't know why it matters, because I totally don't, if I don't already know that. And I was like, but he's really young to kind of have an understanding about this. And he said, would you please talk to him about this? And I was like, yeah, we'll totally talk to him about this. So this little kid, let's call him Colton. So Colton came into my office, and I'm like, hey, Colton, what's up? Yeah, no, how are you? And I said, so I hear you want an easy bake oven for Christmas. And he's like, yeah, for sure. That's like my favorite thing. And I said, so what is it about it that like you like so much? And he said, I just like to eat cake. I just want to eat cake. And I was like, me too, Colton. Let's get me one too. So the point of this is not only is this not a necessary conversation, but unfortunately, I do have to share with you that I get these conversations all the time. This little sweet little boy who his parents or his dad is gay likes to eat cake. I like to eat cake. I wanted him to make me some cake. That's how this happens. And I want everyone here that's listening to me to understand that there is no one set dialogue that is the answer to everything. I have had the most amazing psychological week ever with my patients, and I have learned that tenfold. But this little boy has brought up this question more times than I can assure you that boys will come in and they'll want to play dolls or they'll want to color, or they'll want to wear pink outfits, or they'll want to do all these things. And then these parents are like, do you think I have a gay kid? And I'm like, well, twofold. First, who the heck cares? And second, no. But go back to who the heck cares. All right, Len, I've talked a lot. Are we almost on our questionnaire? We're on break? Okay, sweet little audience here. We're going to go on break, and I'm going to see you very soon, because you all know I have a bajillion more questions to answer. And then we'll see what happens. But go ahead and feel free and call in the meantime if you want to. I'll talk to you soon.
Hi, this is Michelle Paulette from WTOE Radio. We're going to take a few extra minutes while we save our files for podcast, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 4 short minutes.
They're going to jump at trees. They'll go down the slide head first. They'll make parachutes out of sheets. They'll balance on things that are impossible to balance on, like the back of a couch. They'll run with sharp objects. They'll climb things that won't hold their weight. They'll put their fingers in places where they could get smashed. They'll drive their tricycles down steep hills. They'll bounce balls off their faces. They'll step on each other. They'll jump on each other. They'll invent whole new ways to put themselves in jeopardy. But one of the most dangerous things kids will do happens while they're sitting perfectly still. Kids who ride in a car without a booster seat are much more likely to suffer serious or fatal injury during a crash than kids in boosters. But amazingly, 80% of all kids who need them aren't in them. After a toddler seat and until they're 4'9", booster kids, and don't let them down.
Go to boosterseat.gov to learn more about the importance of boosters. A message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
If you think depression is all in a person's head, you're right. It's a brain illness. And like other illnesses, it has symptoms. A person suffering from depression might feel sad, empty, or numb. They might sleep more or less, eat a lot or not at all, or show little interest in participating in ordinary activities. Mood swings, including anger and sadness, are common. They're often tired and have a hard time concentrating or making decisions. Depression can make those who suffer from it feel hopeless. It can even lead to suicide. If you see the symptoms of depression, get that person to a doctor. With medical help, depression can be treated and suicide can be prevented. Learn how to stop depression from taking another life. Call SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, 1-888-511-SAVE, on the web at save.org.
Well, howdy! Thanks for coming to Big Bubba's. We got a mess of used cars. What can we do for you?
We're looking for,
something cute.
Well, here's a beauty, a 99 model with a moon roof. As a bonus, we'll throw in a leaking gas tank. You could be driving and kaboom! Adds that zing of excitement.
You got any other cars?
Wouldn't it be great if you could be warned of life's risks? If you have diabetes, you can. There's a simple blood test called A1C that can help measure your risk of complications such as heart attack. Why is it important? Because 2 out of 3 people with diabetes die from a heart attack or stroke. If your A1C is above 7, your doctor can show you how to lower it. If you have diabetes, know your risk for heart attack. Know your A1C. Ask your doctor, or for more information, go to www.diabetesa1c.org or call 1-877-TEST-A1C. Brought to you by the American Diabetes Association, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation International, and the Ad Council.
Hey, Jack, you got a sec?
Yeah, sure, come on in.
Yeah, I was wondering if you... Jack, your hair's on fire.
Yeah, I know. I just need to finish this sales report, and then I'll probably, I don't know, let me lie down for a bit. But I'm sure it'll go away.
But the flames are getting bigger. Shouldn't I... Your hair, there's so much fire.
No, I'll be fine. What can I help you with? Oh, dear. Well, at least we know the sprinkler system works.
You wouldn't ignore this, so why ignore the signs of a stroke? If you or someone you know suddenly experiences numbness of the face, arm, or leg, or sudden trouble speaking, seeing, or walking, don't wait to get help. Call 911 right away, because time lost is brain lost. To find out more, visit www.strokeassociation.org or call 1-888-4STROKE. This message brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
And now, back to stepping forward. Here's Tamra.
Is that okay? Okay, welcome back. Glad to have you. So, again, if you're just joining us for any reason, you've missed the first part of the show, sadly. We've had such a good time so far because this is all informative, kind of Dear Abby-like. And that was kind of the point of this. And so I want to just use this time and utilize this time to answer some questions. Let's see where we have right now. Let me see what... While I've been talking to you all, I've gotten a couple of new questions. And that's fine if you don't want to call in. But I have gotten some emails from you. So I appreciate it. It's good to know that someone is listening and wants to touch base with me. So I appreciate that. All right, so let's see what this next question says. Wait, I did have another question that I want to go back to really quick. The one that I said my little one cries about having to visit her dad on the weekends. And I do want to go back to that. And I want to say that, you know what? If this is a regular kind of a consistent issue, then there needs to be tough questions involved. I mean, I understand that kids miss their mommies. I understand kids miss their daddies if it's the other party. But if it gets to the point to where you're sad or your kids are crying because of what's going on, then this really does need to be kind of a very formal question. I mean, that's kind of the point of this show in the first place is I am a licensed psychologist and I do want to bring up real issues and I do want to give you really good information. And so if you have any of these kind of questions, then I do want to say, hey, here's what's happening. So if a kid is a little, gloomy because they miss mom and they don't want to go, that's one thing. But if it is a consistent, please don't make me go, then those are kind of tough issues that you may want to talk to someone else about, maybe a counselor, maybe a psychologist, maybe an attorney, and so on. So please, everything I'm telling you right now is based solely on a generic factor because I don't know your children and this has not been presented to me, but I do care. I definitely care about these kids. And so if that is something that's coming up, then I would love for you to kind of pursue it. I would do that if it were my child. So. Okay. So we ended on, before we went to a commercial, that my son or daughter is gay. And then we kind of talked about what that looks like. And that is probably one of the biggest questions that I get all the time is, I think my son's gay. I think my daughter's gay. And, and a lot of the times it's so benign. I mean, it's just like they enjoy boy things. They enjoy girl things. They enjoy relationships with girls more so than boys, or small children enjoy just hanging out with boys, or and that's really a good sign and a healthy condition of your child is that they are enjoying the company that they keep. My little girl, who is 7, which I may have mentioned her once, twice, 18 times, plays with boys. All she wants to play with is boys. That's the only thing that interests her, and so on and so on and so on. And there's a couple of fault, twofold. I couldn't care less if she grows up and is gay. I could not care less. But at the same time, if she's out there throwing the football with the other boys, then chick better know how to throw a football. So I teach her out in the lawn. That's what we do. And so I'm fine. Whatever you feel like you need to do at that time, because this is what our kids are looking for. Our kids are looking for us to teach them to be whatever it is that they want to be at that time. If I have not ever taught you all or told you all that I know how to throw a mean spiral, I totally do. I'm awesome at that. Awesome. All right. All right, so we're gonna skip. This is my last child question, and I am talking too damn much tonight. So let's go on to adults. So I have couples who say, Do you think he's cheating on me? Do you think she is cheating on me? These are questions I get, you guys. And I say, I don't know. Do you think? This is a gut kind of question that you have to ask yourself and say, is this something that I believe is going on right now? And if so, because now I have to go into another question because I don't want to lose time because I have a lot of questions to tell you all. It says, how do I forgive him or her? Okay. Again, I don't know if you're religious, if this is a pastoral kind of, question that you have for people. I don't know if this is just kind of a something that you think you could get through with education, counseling, and so on. And I do this a lot, and I do have a lot of it, but it's difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's super difficult to do. All right, so I know that this one happens. Why does money change everything? All right, this is kind of fairly new, and maybe it's a result of our economy or what, but I've met so many people who have come to be in a great marriage, and then they become a great financial situation, right? And then something happens and everything falls apart. Everything falls apart because they identified themselves with money. And they said, oh my God, now that we don't have money anymore, who are we? Well, that's kind of a common question. It really, really is. And I have to ask you, is this who you want to be with? Can you be with this person poor? Can you be with this person rich? Can you be with this person unhealthy? Can you be with this person healthy? I mean, those to me are the huge questions that I ask all of my patients. So I'm going to kind of skip that one. All right. So I have women often who say, I think I'm having a breakdown. I really do. I think I am having a breakdown. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? What does that look like? And they're like, well, I have a panic attack and I am no longer attractive. I look at myself in the mirror every day and I'm like, are you out of your damn mind? You're ugly. No one would want to be with you. How is it that you have this husband? And so on and so on and so on. And you know what? You're having a breakdown if physically, breakdowns do not just come emotionally. Physically, you can no longer function. Your blood pressure is crazy ass. Your cholesterol is crazy. Your ability to think straight is crazy. But there are a lot of people. And then I say, do you have hope? And if you can tell me, no, I don't have hope. I have hope. What the hell is hope? No, I don't have hope. Then that is a great sign that you need to talk to someone. Hope runs the world. If you don't have hope, even in 9/11 back in 2000, when all that happened, people had hope. If you don't have hope, then there's despair, and despair comes with depression, and depression comes with mental anguish and regret and, just a lack of wanting to be, and you need to talk to someone, okay? And I get this a lot. And I send people to hospitals a lot. And the reason they do that is not because I think I have such crazy ass people to talk to. It's because I think that they need a more conducive environment to deal with their situation and someone to help them one-on-one. All right. If we stayed here another hour, I'd be like preaching to you. So I'm going to try really hard not to. All right, let me see what else I got. Do you believe in emotional affairs? Hell yeah, I believe in emotional affairs. Yes. Yes. Emotional affairs are for women. Physical affairs are for men. If you leave the marriage to reach out to someone in any way, shape, form, emotionally, it's an emotional affair. Is it an affair? Yes, it is. Okay? It's my show. I get to say that. All right. Hold on. Ew. I am in love with my friend's husband. Oh my goodness. Wow, you're an amazing friend. That's about all I got for that. How do I tell my elderly parents I'm gay? I mean, do you need to? Or maybe you can just be like, hey, here's my friend. I don't know. All right. These are all on the spot, you guys, by the way. So it's not like I've had like 20 hours to think about these. How can I get my ex back? Gosh. Okay. Why do you want him back? Why is he an ex? Why? I mean, we could do Dr. Phil on your ass right now. Like, well, tell me why it is that you think that. That's not a very good impression. But still, why would you want someone back who is an ex? You know what? Let me tell you why. This I deal with every day. I cannot freaking believe. Why is this like my 18th question? I should have answered this one right away. Let me tell you this. I get this question. I swear to God, I have 40 people a week. I get this question about 20 times a week. I know, but what if, I mean, oh my God. I mean, if I would have like done this and he would have done this and he could have raked the leaves and we could have like jumped in them and it would have been amazing. Have you seen that commercial? And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? How many times do you jump in the leaves? Never. Okay, so the point is you are romanticizing about what could have been, what you hope to have been, what maybe should have been. I don't know. But it's a grieving process. I'm divorced. I divorced someone who I should have divorced. He was a total douchebag. I should have divorced him way before I did divorce him. But the day that I divorced him, I cried the whole damn day. And people are like, what is wrong with you? This is what you were supposed to do. And I grieved because I wanted more. I grieved because of what I missed. I grieved for what I longed for. I grieve for what could have been. I grieve for all this stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with grieving for what you want to be. There's really, really not. But when you start doing this whole crap about how do I get them back, and I'm like, I'm not the one to tell you that, because I don't want you to get them back. I just don't. And you may find a counselor who will tell you or teach you, or you may find an internet website, or you may find someone who will say, hey, here's how you get them back. But I think that's BS. I think you do not ever want someone back that left in the first place, or that you left in the first place. And I think everything that came from that was simply romanticizing whatever you lost. And I've been there. And I hope that you all understand that this was a super sensitive night for me, because I know most of these questions, they're kind of crazy to me. All right, I'm almost done. Let me see. I feel burdened by taking care of my parents. Yeah, they probably changed your diapers, so freaking take care of them. How do I get my grown kids out of my house? Yeah, I got nothing. You changed their diapers, so launch it with Matthew McConaughey. Does playing hard to get work? Oh my goodness. Can I do this next week? Len, I'm going to tell Len, who is my producer, I may do this for the whole damn next show. Are you kidding me? How do I get someone back? Stop it. You don't. Stop. All right. How to spend the holidays without family. That stings a little bit, because sometimes when you want to spend the holidays with your family, and it's amazing, it's nice, and all this good stuff, and you have this regala of memories and how everything is, and then they want to remind you of who you're missing out on and all this good stuff, or makes you feel that way, then you have to understand, is this going to be a better environment for me or a more negative environment for me? And you really, really do have to think like that. And I have been there, and I have been in that situation, and I have spent Christmas alone, because going to family would make me feel worse than it would alone. And so this is a really, really personal choice. So that's something that you have to think about. I think I'm running out of time. Where am I at, Len?
Got 4 minutes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Playing hard to get. I was started on that, then I went on to something else, because I was playing hard to get. Are you kidding me right now? What the heck is playing hard to get? Why do you want to play hard to get? Because once you get played hard to get, then you have to be playing hard to keep. I mean, who wants to do that? It is a ridiculous situation that no one wins. No one wins. And you play hard to get, because that's what, I guess, Glamour magazine told you, which I'm anti these magazines anyway, because I think they give you dumb, can I say ass? Advice. And then you go with this, and they're telling you, just don't talk to him, and then he'll call you, and blah, blah, blah. And if he doesn't, do they give you a backup? Do they say, hey, what do you do then? And here's what I'm telling you, as a psychologist and patients who come to see me, stop it. No. Don't worry about this nonsense. You do not play hard to get. You play who you are, and if they don't want to catch you or get you, then sorry about their bad luck. Right? Sorry about their bad luck, because you're supposed to be their prize. So remember that. I don't know what the heck I'm going to talk about. What are we going to talk about in October? Yeah. See, I was going to talk about this last month and all this craziness happened. So I'm going to talk about this in October. We'll find out something fun to talk about. November. I'm going to talk about this in November, not October. Sorry, it's already October. I can't believe it's already October. Okay, so we're going to talk about this in November. This month, you guys are going to, carve your pumpkins and do all this cool crap. And then when I talk to you in November, I'm going to talk to you about Thanksgiving and how much we're going to love our families and how that's going to go and all this good stuff. But you know what? It is most amazing to me, and I do appreciate that you guys email me. But please, if you're online when we are online, call me. That would be so much fun. Let's do that. So prepare for it next month. Look at the time frame. Call me. Well, let's hang out. We got this. All right. So I'm going to let you go. Happy October, what is it, 2nd? Happy October 2nd. Have a most enjoyable night. I hate that I missed you last September because I wanted to, preach at you all at that time, but, we'll wait another time. All right. Have a good time, and I will see you soon.
Stepping Forward with Tamara White, a licensed professional counselor and clinical psychologist, was brought to you by the WTOE Radio TV Network at throughoureyes.org. For more information on tonight's show, or to reach Tamara directly, you may email her at twhitecounseling@yahoo.com or visit twhitecounseling.net. That's twhitecounseling.net. Special thanks to the numerous individuals and families that have stepped outside of the box to enlist assistance through therapy. All words, ideas, and comments expressed on Stepping Forward are those of Tamara White and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the NFB of New Jersey, or the WTOE Radio TV Network. Until next time, I'm Michelle Paulette.
You've done it again.
That's all, folks.